There are three main strategies that every business needs to focus on in order to drive growth within their business. We focus on these things for all of our companies that we start and all the companies that we partner with. So number one is new client acquisition. This is, in my opinion, the hardest part of growth, most expensive, most difficult, however, also the most important. Getting the client to pay you for the first time, it's always easier to get them to pay you an additional time afterwards as opposed to that first time. So if you're good at what you do, honestly, driving revenue growth is really not that hard. It's a pretty plug-and-play process. Really, the hard part is doing it in a profitable way, in a way that your costs don't spiral out of control as you scale. Pretty much everything gets more expensive as you scale. Like ad spend, cost per book call, a lot of times it goes through the roof as you're spending more and more. So you have to step up your game as a marketer in order to keep costs down. Your sales team, as it grows, you may have one very talented sales rep who is kind of the initial team lead. But when you have 10 sales reps, it's much harder to have all 10 be, very talented, closing at the same rates. So essentially keeping profitability in check at scale is very difficult. The main way we measure that is through CPA. That's cost per acquisition. So to walk you through an example, let's say your revenue is sitting at $100,000 a month and your ad spend is sitting at $20,000 a month. You're sitting at a 5x ROAS, it's a 5x return on ad spend. So for every $1 you spend, you're getting $5 out. A lot of times, going from say $100,000 a month to say $1 million a month, it's a pretty straightforward process. It's not like rocket science what you need to do there. The hard part is keeping those costs in check so that you're not spending, say, $500,000 a month in order to generate $1 million a month. That would be a 2x return on ad spend as opposed to a 5x. So there's a lot of different needle movers you can pull there to kind of keep those costs down. That's where I spend a good amount of my time day to day, is finding ways to insert profit in the business. That's things like adding in email as a channel, pumping organic content, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And of course, just leveling up your team, making sure that closers close at higher percentages. You squeeze the juice on the leads more. There's a lot that goes into that. Driving new client acquisition, very important, very difficult. You got to be able to bring in new clients. That's where the money's made. So that's where we start, is driving initial growth. Number two is upfront cash collection. This is our main KPI that we use for our sales team. I don't really like going off of contracted revenue. A lot of businesses do that, but end of the day, contracts can get broken. People can, not pay you for whatever reason. So we like to focus on that upfront cash amount. So that's the second needle mover you can pull, is finding ways to collect more cash up front. To give you an example, when we launched one of our companies back in October, we had a kind of flagship $15,000 offer that our closers were selling. And after about 2 months, we actually added in a second product that was also an additional $20,000. So that effectively gave our closers the option to sell a $15K, a $20K, or sell both for a $35K. So by giving that additional option to collect more cash up front, our revenue went through the roof, essentially. And it really didn't affect our costs whatsoever. If we are able to sustain our costs on the front end while significantly, well, in this case, more than doubling our upfront cash collection, not only is it great for top line revenue, but from an overall profitability standpoint, it makes us much more profitable. So that's the second area we focus on, is increasing upfront cash collection. Now, the third area that we focus on is getting customers to pay you more times. Now, we do this in a variety of different ways inside our companies here. A lot of times we'll do a profit split on the back end. So that way incentives are aligned with the client that, we want to get good results for them, because then they get paid more while we get paid more. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to, if you're a basic services business, for example, outside of Offer Launch, I've ran an email marketing company for the last several years. So I just take a monthly retainer from my clients. So if I have a client who sticks around for 1 month versus a client who sticks around for 2 years, obviously the client who sticks around for 2 years is going to pay me more over time, unless you have like some very large upfront payment on that one. For me, that doesn't really happen too often. But if you can get clients to just pay you and stick around time and time again, that's just inserting profit into the business. Because if you think about it like this, when it comes to your new client acquisition, you absorb the cost on the front end. You're paying that kind of one-time fee through ads, through your sales team. That's to acquire the paying client. And then everything you get after then is just profit insert into the business. Let's say we collect $10,000 upfront from a new client and we pay $3,000 to acquire that client. That's like our cost of ads, cost for paying the sales team, but they are paying us $5,000 a month ongoing. If we're able to get them to stick around for 12 months, that's an additional $60,000 in profit for the business. So you really want to get good at that as well. So those are really the three main levers that we're focusing on. So driving new client acquisition, collecting more cash upfront, and then getting clients to pay you more times. So we specialize in all three of those. That's what we do with our clients here. So if you want to get more information about that, then definitely click that link below, hit subscribe, and check out our videos in the future.